Bro, have you ever wondered why Eustass Kid, despite being such a meme, has such a hardcore fan base? Well, as a big Eustass Kid fan myself, I honestly never understood the kid hate, especially when he is so much better than 99% of the worst generation except Law. As someone who only caught up to the manga in 2025, I was genuinely shocked when I found out that such a cool character like Kid was actually a massive meme in the One Piece community just because of his showing with Shanks. Honestly, I actually really admired Kid for his defeat to Shanks. As somebody who went into his character completely fresh and completely free from all the agenda stuff that comes from following One Piece weekly. And I'll explain why I admired Kid for this later on in the video, because when you actually look at Eustass Kid as a character, there's something incredibly appealing about him. So today, let me explain to you why, despite being a meme now, Kid is still one of my favourite characters, and why there's such a hardcore fanbase for him. When you just look at the symbolism of Kid, his devil fruit matches him perfectly. Kid is able to put together all sorts of metal and release it. This is symbolic of the fact that no matter how many times Kid loses, he has the strength to put himself back together. This is the core of Kid's character. I respect Kid way more than most pirates. Only a few with a few screws loose in their head would be like Kid, who chases the height of the pirate world like he does, take the risks that he does against all odds. He is willing to take the risks that would get most people laughing at him if all goes wrong, but people praising him if it all goes right. Kid challenged Shanks the first time, lost his arm, and yet this did not break Kid's spirit at all, whereas most people's spirits would be broken, because after this he invades another Yonko's territory, Big Mom's territory, defeats a sweet commander. He still didn't give up on being Pirate King despite being nerfed, again which ties back to his devil fruit. He's always pulling himself back together. Imagine losing your arm to a Yonko and then thinking, alright, I'll fight another Yonko. The conviction, the strength of spirit, most people would give up. Kid didn't, and I find that admirable. Another Yonko, Kaido, his presence alone was enough to make Apu and Hawkins submit to him, the very thing Kid and Luffy were trying to avoid. They saw the gap in power between themselves and Kaido, and they decided the only logical thing was to surrender. But Kid, despite being so much weaker, Kid refused. He knew he stood no chance, and yet he still chose to fight him. And yes, he lost, but that's not the point. The point is he refused to submit to Kaido, and I think that's one of the most important things about his character. Kid would rather lose to somebody than live underneath them. There's no alternative. And just like how Zoro said he'd rather die than give up, it's literally the same for Kid, and yet people really admire Zoro, but for Kid, nah, we all hate Kid. That's how stubborn his ambition is. This is the disposition of a king. Eventually, after everything Kaido put him through during Udon prison, Kid came back strong enough to fight Big Mom herself. And by strong enough, I mean mentally strong enough, because the core of Kid's character is that no matter how much you break him, he will always pull himself back together, just like his devil fruit. The reason Kaido put Kid in the prison cell was because he tried to break Kid's will, but he couldn't break such a will, the same way he couldn't break Luffy's will during round 1 or act 1, whatever. That's why he has Conqueror's Haki. This is the disposition of a king. A king refuses to bow. Just to put it into perspective, characters like Crocodile, who lost to Whitebeard, characters like Gekomura, who lost to Kaido, 2 Yonkos, right? After one defeat, they both grew bitter, lost their confidence, and gave up on being Pirate King. But Kid, he didn't. He lost to Shanks, losing his arm. Worse defeats than Crocodile and Gekomura, and yet he still challenged 2 Yonko after that, Kaido and Big Mom. That's so cool. Like, people aren't really putting it into perspective, the conviction Kid has. That takes a lot of mental strength. When you consider how much the new world is built up as this like graveyard where all your dreams go to waste, the fact that Kid lost to Shanks and then came back to fight 2 other Yonko and then fought Shanks again, doesn't that prove Kid's character? Doesn't that prove how awesome he is? You want to glaze Crocodile but you won't glaze Kid? Bomb Crocodile, who gave up after losing to Whitebeard once and then lost to pre-time skip Luffy? I mean, come on. So as someone who was still new to One Piece, seeing Kid take on Shanks a second time wasn't something I mocked him for, it was something I admired him for. I wasn't thinking, haha, this idiot is about to get destroyed by Shanks. I was more like, this guy is actually going for another round? He lost his arm the first time, most people would give up, but he's going again. And the reason he went to fight him again wasn't because he thought he was stronger. I mean, he might have, you never know, but the reason why he fought Shanks was one reason. He refused to bow down to anyone in the new world. He wanted to stand at the top. He refused to have anyone above him because he is a king. the disposition of a king. This is what it means to have Conqueror's Haki. All these memes about Kid embody what Blackbeard said on Jaya. Ironically, he said, when you aim for the top, people are going to laugh at you, and that's exactly what happened to Kid. He aimed for the top, even if all odds stacked against him. Did we laugh at Luffy when he lost at Sabaody? No, this defeat to Shanks is Kid's equivalent of that. He will rebuild himself, just like his devil fruit. Kid will come back. Eustass Kid is one of the most realistic depictions of ambition we have seen in the series, because unlike Luffy, it's not always going to go your way. You're not always going to meet a Ray Lee or a Shanks or a Hyogoro to guide you. Sometimes you're completely on your own. Like, I'm doing this whole video thing on my own. I don't have any editors, I don't have anyone paying me, I don't have any artists. I'm doing this stuff on my own, and I relate to Kid. Sometimes, yeah, some of my videos flop, that's fine. It doesn't make me a bum. I don't have these amazing editors who can do thumbnails for me. No, I'm not Luffy. I don't have all of these teachers and mentors. I'm by myself, just like Kid. But just like Kid, it's about reaching for those heights, reaching for the top, even if you know you're gonna fail. Even if you know you're going to get laughed at. And I think to be like Kid takes a lot of bravery and heart. It's not something worth laughing at. Yeah, he lost to Shanks, whatever. At least he tried, is what I'm saying. And with that said, what do you guys think about Kid? Definitely comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy this one here. Massive thank you to my members, Cats Ate My Family, Uso Timor, and Mr. Bashida56. And I will see you there.